What's up, YouTube? Today I'm talking about a story of Juvy, uh, how it was for me, my experience there. So I'm gonna light up a Palm All Green and get into the story. Doing a relight because I didn't have enough space on my computer, so the video stopped. Alright, so I went to Juvy pending a court date because I've been getting in more trouble while I was waiting for it. So they put me into holding pretty much. I went to somewhere called Midlands Evaluation Center, we call it MEC. And so I was transported there on evaluation. And so I went into intake, and the first thing you do is you get strip search, all this nasty shit. You get your jumper, which there's two different classes of the people that are locked up in there. Blue jumpers and green jumpers. Blue jumpers are the ones that are on evaluation stage, so they're 45 to, I think, 90, and then green jumpers are there for either awaiting placement or they're just being locked up until they find something to do with them. And whenever green jumpers leave, they don't go to court, they go back home. But blue jumpers are all locked up pending court. So I was a blue jumper. They give you a jumper. They book you in. They take your shot and shit. They drug test you. All that jazz. So, and then they assign you to a pod. So there's 3 pods. C pod, E pod, and D pod. Now, C pod and E pod are both blue jumper pods with some green jumpers, unless the green jumpers are violent or something and they get put in D pod. But they put most of the green jumpers and older kids and stuff in D pod. So I first got assigned to C pod. And so I go into C pod. It's shitty at first. Before you get a cell or anything, they put you in a boat bed, which is like a plastic thing that they put on the floor until they, you get a cell, or you sleep on a boat if you get in fights, and then you won't have a cell. So I'm in this boat bed for like about 5 days or so, and then I get a cell because someone had gotten moved out of theirs. Unfortunately, I got the shittiest one that had a broken light and shit, and the bed was all fucked up, but whatever. So you're locked up, and there's guards in there. They take shifts, it's constantly. So they wake you up at 5 o'clock in the morning on weekdays to go to school. You eat breakfast. It's pretty shitty food. And you go to school, which, it was pretty good for the first bit, but then, the bad part is people in there are going to try to test you and mess with you. It's like you can't not fight, because if you don't, you're like a pussy. They'll be calling you a bitch and shit. And if you don't stand up for yourself, you're going to get your shit stolen, your food, and all that. And people will be raiding each other's cells and shit. But pretty much, about a weekend, I got into a first fight over a book that I had that someone wanted. Lost my first fight there, unfortunately. They got put in the wet cell, which is solitary, which sucks. My god, that shit's terrible. And you both get put in a wet cell when you get in a fight, so it's like solitary. You're locked in this disgusting ass room, dude. Like, people piss on the floor and shit in there. And you get your toilet, they give you your food through a slot. I was in there for a day for that. And, you can talk through the vents to other people in the wet cell. It turns out someone I knew was locked up in there in D pod, and I could talk to him through the vents. And then they got moved to my pod, so I was happy. So I got out of the wet cell. Now on the weekends, you get to watch TV unless you're bad, and we don't go to school. It's way better on the weekends. But I mean, the time flies pretty much when you're in there. You get visitation, which is always sad, and you can get letters and shit and write letters sometimes. But so, about another week goes by, and I get into another fight over somebody disrespecting me, and they hit me with soap. So we got in a real bad fight. I was gonna be put in the wet cell for 2 days, I think, or 2 or 3 days, which sucks. You don't go to school or nothing. So I was in the wet cell, shittiest thing ever. Like, it sucks. And there's no matches or nothing in there. It's shitty. But I eventually got out of the wet cell, and you have a social worker you talk to. So I got lucky, and after, calling my parents and stuff, getting to visitation, they, pulled some strings and were able to get my court date changed because they finished my evaluation early, so I got out, a week before I was supposed to. Went to court, ended up getting house arrest and probation, which I'll do a story on that too. But so that's pretty much my juvie experience. Don't fucking go to juvie. Don't be stupid like me. I'm being better now, but that's the video. Hope y'all enjoyed. Thanks.